Hi, I'm Margie from Marjorie's Candies, and what I'm making today, I'm going to put ice cream, going to make ice cream balls, and we're going to put them on a stick. And I'm going to start right away. I just went out and I got some ice cream. I have some vanilla, and I have some chocolate. And it's always a good idea to go buy your ice cream and then try to come home right away and make the balls, because it's sort of the perfect texture for making balls. So now we'll start with the chocolate. So you just want to make little balls. You don't want anything too big. Well, you can have them as big as you like, actually. But you kind of want it to look like a ball, and that looks like a ball. And I should have started with the vanilla. I'm going to make a bunch of these. I'm just going to show you how I do it with just one or two. And later on when we dip them, we'll have more here. Okay, so there's a ball. Remember, my mom used to make my dad ice cream balls. He'd get angry if they weren't perfect. He'd come in the kitchen and show her how to make a perfect ice cream ball. It was pretty funny. Now these sticks, they come in different sizes. Okay, I guess they're lollipop sticks. Okay, and what I did, I mean, you can have a nice long one if you want, but if you don't, you could just bend it and break it. Just, find where the center is with your eyes, just sort of look. Not brain surgery. That's pretty good. And then you want to put the ice cream ball, the sticks, into the ice cream when the ice cream is sort of soft, and then we're going to freeze it again. We're going to freeze the ice cream again to make sure the ice cream really does stick on the balls. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of those. And don't use ice cream sticks that have points on them, because if you're giving them to children, that could be dangerous. And you should stick the end that wasn't broken into the ice cream, because it's cleaner looking. If you're a little neurotic, which I tend to be sometimes, you can take a knife and find the center of the stick that way. And if you just make a mark, this is a serrated knife, then it will just sort of break right where that is, and it makes a little cleaner one. Pretty good. Okay, so I'll be back and I'm going to show you how to melt the chocolate for them. I'm going to microwave this for 1 minute, and then I'm going to give it a stir, and then after that I probably will only microwave it for about 15 seconds at a time. And you want the heat of the glass and the heat of the chocolate to really finish off the melting. You don't really need to keep microwaving it. This white chocolate, or if you're using the confectionery coating discs, the white discs, there's a lot of sugar in them and it's likely to burn, so you want to really melt this very slowly. Now I just took it out of the microwave, and this glass is very, very warm. So I'm going to use a wooden spoon, or you can use anything, and as you see, it is starting to melt. Now one of the best things you can do when you're melting chocolate is to forget about it. Like if I put it in the microwave for a minute and I go do something else for 10 minutes or so, the heat of this glass will just melt the chocolate down. I'll come back and it will stir really nicely. But for now I just want to give it a stir down, because of course I'm in a hurry to show you this. I can't wait. But you see how that's really coming down? And I'll have to use a scraper to show you that it really is going to be half full. You kind of have to think about what you're doing, because this gets so hot you'll burn the chocolate. You don't want to waste your chocolate that way. Now this is another 15 seconds, and I'm just going to let it sit. Even though there's still some unmelted chocolate in there, I'm just going to let it sit. Let the heat of the container do the rest of the melting. Now I've scraped this container down so you can see the side and see exactly that it's half full. I filled it all the way up with chocolate, and now that it's melted, it's half full. So what I'm going to do with this chocolate is we're going to add, because we're going to dip the ice cream balls in it, and we want the ice cream, we don't want it to be a big fat thick coating like that. We're going to thin it down with a little bit of oil. Vegetable oil is fine. Okay, I use canola oil. And I'm just going to put, for each cup of melted chocolate, I usually use 1 teaspoon of oil, and I have 2 here, 2 1/4 I guess. I have 2 1/2 actually, but so I'm going to add the 2, and this will thin it down a little. Then you kind of play it by ear, because if you need a little more, you have to think about, you can use your spoon to gauge how much this is going to, how much this needs to be thinned out more. Because the ice cream is frozen, it's going to harden up, so you don't have to worry about adding a little more oil to it. And when you do the ice cream balls, you're also going to be tapping them, which is going to, knock the chocolate off, so you'll see how thick your chocolate coating will be. I'm going to add a little bit more, because I had another 1/2 cup of the chocolate. Remember, I had 2 1/2 cups, so we'll add a little more. I really needed it. And I think that's pretty good, because so what I'm going to show you here is actually I added 2 more teaspoons. Do you see how this is a little bit clumpy? I know that sounds odd, but this is August 9th. And no matter, I just bought this chocolate, but it's just so humid out that this summertime is not the time for chocolate. But if you want to make ice cream balls dipped in a little bit of a coating with a cherry flavor or strawberry flavor, then, sometimes you just don't have a choice. So I added the oil, and if you tap it down, it'll all come off. So we're going to go ahead and try it. So what you need to start with is, you need a flavoring. So I have these Luran oils. Now you want to add something that's an oil-based flavoring or color, because you don't want to add something that has water in it. Like, for example, like this More McCormick red dye, that's a water base. And if you add it to your chocolate's not going to like that very much, and it's going to get all kind of, it's going to seize up or get very thick. So you always want oil-based anything you add to your chocolate. So I have orange here, and raspberry and strawberry, and have lemon, but I'm going to use strawberry. So we're going to start with just going to put a couple of drops in. I very rarely add it directly to, put the bottle over it, because I want to really be careful, because it's pretty strong stuff in the sense of, it has a very strong flavor to it. And since this virtually it adds no color at all. Okay, you want to try to taste it, because you just want a little bit of flavor. That's actually perfect. I just had a couple of drops. There was probably three or four drops maybe. Okay, so now I want to add some color. And I have different colors. This one is red. It's like a bright red, and this one's pink. You can see from the cap. My red is pretty much gone, so I'm going to start with a little bit of red. I just had that in. This is just a chopstick, so I can try to pull some out. I don't know if you can see. Normally it would just squeeze out, but since this is almost empty, and I really would rather have red than pink, I'm going to try this first. Okay. So I think that's kind of perfect. You want to start with less and add more, because you certainly can't take it out, and you don't want to really melt more chocolate. So this tastes like strawberry now, and it's a little bit red. Pink is good for strawberry too, but I just wanted to try to use the red one. So now I have my chocolate melted, and these are the balls that were in them that I made earlier. It's always good to have a tall, deep container, because then you don't really have to have as much chocolate. Okay, so you're just going to take your ball, dip it into the chocolate, and you can just tap it on the side. Okay, and just place it down. And you'll have that same kind of dip . Then your strawberry with the chocolate ball. think that strawberry and chocolate's going to be very interesting. It's very humid, and that's why this happened to the chocolate. If you did it, you know, when it wasn't so humid out, like probably in October or something, you really wouldn't have this kind of a problem. But the tapping really helps. Okay, actually before you get it into the refrigerator, or back into the freezer, it's pretty much already frozen because of the ice cream. It's so cold. So I'll put those in the freezer. And that's really all there is to dipping your ice cream balls in the white coating. You can make that any flavor you want. You can make it orange with a little orange color in it. Peppermint if you have like mint chocolate chip ice cream. See, it's already frozen. Okay, well thank you for joining us, and I hope that you try this and let me know what you think, and I'll be back soon.